Strict lockdown extends over the Collective National Capital Region or NCR Plus for one more week or until April 11. Malacanang announces this Saturday, April 3, the same day the country recorded over 12,000 new COVID-19 cases. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said the government will add beds for moderate to severe cases of COVID-19 in hospitals. The 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew, except for food deliveries and other essentials, is still in effect. There was no mention if additional aid would be given. Vice President Leni Robredo says Sunday, April 4, she still finds the government's pandemic response to be too general in the face of the unprecedented surge in cases.
Para sa akin, okay naman yung sinabi sa ECQ, pero sana mas detalyado, saka sana nag-ooperate tayo na parating may specific objectives. Kasi pag hindi, yung sukat natin, paano ba natin masasabi na nagtagumpay tayo? Paano natin masasabi na excellent tayo? Na-checkan ba natin yung ating mga scorecards?
Robredo adds the government should lay out clear goals it wants to achieve by April 11, the end of the extended strict lockdown. Economists, meanwhile, warn the government meager and delayed cash aid to poor households can force people to go out and look for work. This will defeat the purpose of a hard lockdown. They say authorities should act fast and give out financial assistance if they want COVID-19 infections to slow down. President Rodrigo Duterte appoints Supreme Court Associate Justice Alexander Gesmundo as the new Chief Justice. Malacanang confirms Gesmundo's appointment Monday, April 5 during a virtual press conference. Duterte skipped seniority for this appointment, with Gesmundo being the fourth most senior in the High Court. Senior Associate Justice Estela Perlas Bernabe is the most senior and stood as acting Chief Justice for a week, but she retires in May 2022. Gesmundo will be Chief Justice for 5 years before he retires in November 2026. Duterte appointed Gesmundo, an Ateneo Law School graduate, to the Supreme Court in August 2017. Gesmundo notably concurred in some issues: Senator Laila de Lima's arrest, the ouster of former Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno, and the junking of the case to disclose Duterte's health records. A rare word war between Philippine Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana and the Chinese embassy in Manila erupts Sunday, April 4. Lorenzana calls out China for shunning international law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea or UNCLOS. He says Sunday the Philippines' claims in the West Philippine Sea stand on solid ground because of the 2016 Arbitral Tribunal ruling. A day before, the Chinese embassy denounced Lorenzana's earlier statement as unprofessional and perplexing. Lorenzana said Saturday morning China's ships should leave Julian Felipe Reef in the West Philippine Sea because the weather is clear. Chinese ships are still in Julian Felipe Reef despite repeated calls by Manila for Beijing to respect its sovereignty, including the filing of a diplomatic protest. The word war is the latest in a series of mixed signals from the Duterte government in its dealings with China. President Rodrigo Duterte himself remains friendly to China in exchange for anticipated economic investments and COVID-19 vaccine donations. On Monday, April 5, the Philippine Foreign Affairs Department warns it will file daily diplomatic protests against Beijing as long as its vessels remain in Philippine waters. United States officials rule out terrorism in an attack on U.S. Capitol Police Friday, April 2, as media organizations named the suspect as Noah Green of Newport News, Virginia. The assailant drove a car through police ranks of the U.S. Capitol Friday, April 2, hit a barricade, and knifed and killed one officer and injured another. Police eventually shot and killed the man. Green's brother tells the Washington Post his siblings struggled with drug use and paranoia, and his family worried about his mental state. Media reports also say Green spoke on Facebook about the end of times, the Antichrist, and government mind control. The slain officer, identified as William Billy Evans, was an 18-year veteran of the Capitol Police Force and father of 2 children. Officials said the other officer was in a stable condition. The incident forced the Capitol complex to lock down. U.S. spy agencies warned in mid-March of an ongoing threat involving racially motivated violent extremists such as white supremacists. South Korea's LG Electronics on Monday, April 5, says it will completely withdraw its smartphone brand from the market. Its decision to pull out its mobile division will leave its 10% share in North America, where it is the number 3 brand. The division logs nearly 6 years of losses, totaling some $4.5 billion. In a statement, LG says dropping out of the fiercely competitive sector will allow LG to focus on growth areas such as electric vehicle components, connected devices, and smart homes. LG's flagship model suffered from both software and hardware mishaps, which, combined with slower software updates, saw the brand steadily slip in popularity. LG's smartphone division, the smallest of its 5 divisions accounting for about 7% of revenue, is expected to be wound down by July 31.